What's the last question? I'm having a gallery in Berlin since 1997, before I was in Cologne. I am representing about 15 artists worldwide, with whom I've started most of them with whom I started the gallery. So I'm working with them since the early 90s. When we moved there, I think Berlin was really in the 90s the most interesting metropole in the Western world, because it has been so loaded with a very difficult history, which has been erased from almost all the other big European cities. Also, the reunification of the two Germanys really raised up a lot of questions in both systems, which you could really suddenly pursue in a kind of daily life in Berlin. And I think for people working in a creative field, which is also really very much questioning topics of ethics and politics, but also what it means to live in a city today. All this confrontation made your work really very interesting, and then all kinds of people from the whole world moved about at the same time there, all in search for finding a place where you still can change a lot of things. Yes, I think it's still one of the most exciting cities in Europe. The piece of Anne-Veronika Janssens, for instance, is going directly after the show, is going to Leverkusen, to a museum called Schloss Morsbroich. It's a space of color experimentation. So you enter in this booth and you experiment color in a very kind of brutal and intensive way. She's working very much on different kind of, the whole show will be more or less like a laboratory, with a lot of places for experimentation also for the viewer. So this is a way to introduce new work. We have a new photo series by Carsten Höller on the whole series he did on amusement parks. He built a real amusement park in a show he has at the moment in Shawinigan, which is in Quebec. He brought in there a lot of kind of big fairground kind of carousels and twisters and whatever, and he completely changed the speed of them. And at the same time he went through Italy with a photographer, and they photographed these kind of local amusement parks and do the procedure of printing the photograph. The colors are shifted, so you have the impression that either things are moving or you're not looking right, or you're just getting out of some of these kind of roller coaster with a very kind of blurry view.